Hi, good morning. This is Trina here to discuss about periodic properties. And you have learned different parts of the chemistry and different concepts of chemistry. So now you will learn that according to periodic table, how you can determine the properties of different element and the electron affinity, electronegativity, etc. And also you will learn their sizes and the shielding effect, etc. So I hope that already you have joined with my code DMBC. Whenever you join with this code, you will get the access of entire study material. So here I have uploaded entire study materials in this course page, and different types of problems, semester questions, and also the solved problems. And if you have any doubt regarding my lecture, so you can communicate either through my mobile number or through my email ID. And these are given in my personal information. So this course, chemistry, is for undergraduate BTech students. And the code for this subject is CH101 for odd semester, CH201 for even semester. And the streams are CSE IT Civil Mechanical for even semester and Electrical EC BME for odd semester. The credits 3, contact hour 35, and weekly I will take 3 lectures. The prerequisite knowledge required to understand this concept is 12 standard. In the course objective, the students will learn several concepts of chemistry. And in the course outcome, so students will be able to describe the periodicity of elements in the periodic table. So periodicity means the different properties of the element in the periodic table. So here the entire lecture plan is given, so you can understand that which topics will be covered in which day. So here it is the module 1, the starting of periodic properties. So here the module 1, the starting of periodic properties. So from the name you can understand that as per periodic table, we will learn the properties of the element. So today the first lecture already highlighted, that is the modern periodic table, group trends and periodic trends in physical properties. So this is our topic. Now, here the entire lesson plan is given, and if you want to avail the book, so you can avail it from the library. So the books are also given here. Now, our topic is periodic table. So I think that all of you have the idea of the periodic table and the periodic properties. So first of all, I will tell the historical background of the development of periodic classification. That means we have got now the modern periodic table, but how it comes. Suddenly, it is not possible for the scientists that give a periodic table, like present a periodic table to you. So from the old days, chemists had attempted to classify the elements into some groups based on their chemical and physical properties to synthesize the study for the systematic study. Why? Because if it can be categorized that their property are same, then we can understand that what type of reaction it will go through. So that is why the scientists are trying from the old days to categorize the elements as per their physical and chemical properties. And at the early stage, the chemist had always attempted to find such relationship with the atomic weights of the elements. But as the correct atomic weights of all the elements known at that time were not known before 1860, many early attempts failed. Then within a few years, it is like 1868 to 70, the periodic classification taking the atomic weights as the basis came out from the German chemist Lothar Meyer and Russian chemist Mendeleev. Okay, so we got from in the year of 1868 to 70, the German chemist Lothar Meyer and the Russian chemist Mendeleev. I think you have heard this name Mendeleev. So such empirical classification have now been supported theoretically with the advent of electronic structure of the element. However, before the attainment of Mendeleev's periodic law, some early attempts which provided the key roots to the thinking of Mendeleev and the Lothar Meyer are worth mentioning. Some such historical development are mentioned below. Okay, so you know that who has told about this periodicity. So here it is the law of triad. So Johann Wolfgang Dobereiner was a chemist in the early 18 when the periodic table was not in existence, and some chemists were trying to find a type of organizational system for the known elements. So Dobereiner noticed a pattern with certain elements that had similar chemical and physical properties. He called these elements triads. We have Dobereiner law of triads. So what it is called? It is called Dobereiner laws of triad. Okay. So it is the law of triad. So what is it? So Dobereiner noticed that the atomic weight of strontium fell midway between the weights of calcium and barium. Okay, so the weight of strontium, what he has noticed, that the weight of strontium is in between the weight of calcium and barium. Strontium, this is in between weight of calcium and barium. Next, it was this merely a coincidence or did some pattern to the arrangement of the elements exist? Dobereiner noticed the same pattern for the alkali metal triad and halogen triad. So it is just coincidence or it is the correct. So you know that for calcium, the weight is 40 and for barium that is 137. So if you add this and take the average by 2, we get 88. So it is the weight of strontium. So he thought that it is just a coincidence or it is the correct. So he found more example like another triad, the alkali metal like lithium and potassium. Then in between we are getting that sodium, okay, Na. So at this lithium and potassium, you will get 39 plus 7. What you will get? That is 46. Okay, so you are doing, you are doing 39 plus 7. Then you divide this one by 2. Same way we are doing. So what we are getting? We are getting 23. Next, another is the halogen triad. It is the halogen group, chlorine, bromine, iodine. These are the halogen group. So chlorine, you know the weight is 35. Iodine, it is the 127. So you add it. So 127 plus, you will get like 35, then divided by 2. So it is not exactly equal. Okay, so it is similar. In 1829, Döbereiner proposed the law of triad. Middle element in the triad had atomic weight that was the average of other two elements. Soon, other scientists found chemical relationships extended beyond triads. Like fluorine was added to chlorine, bromine, iodine group. Sulfur, oxygen, selenium, tellurium were grouped into a family. And also the nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, and bismuth were classified as another group. So the scientist has made different groups. Now next, Newland's law of octave. Okay, what is it? English chemist John Newland in 1837 to 1898, having arranged the 62 known elements in order to increasing atomic weights, noted that after interval of 8 elements, similar physical and chemical properties reappeared. Okay, so same properties after 8 elements, the similar physical and chemical properties reappeared. So Newland was the first to formulate the concept of periodicity in the properties of the chemical elements. So if it is asked in the MCQ that who first formulated the concept of periodicity, then you have to answer that Newland. In 1863, he wrote a paper proposing the law of octaves. Elements exhibit similar behavior to the 18 elements following it in the table. So here you can see the Newland's arranged elements in the octave. So here we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After that, the lithium. So lithium, sodium, potassium, copper, rubidium, argentum. So in this way he arranged, and he is telling that the property after the 8 elements, it becomes the similar property. So he is getting the similar properties after the 8 elements. So next is the Mendeleev and Lothar-Meyer's periodic law. So then in 1869, Russian chemist Dmitry Mendeleev, that is 1834 to 1907, proposed arranging elements by atomic weights and properties. Lothar Meyer independently reached similar conclusion but published result after Mendeleev. Mendeleev's periodic table of 1869 contains 17 columns with two partial periods of 7 elements, each lithium fluorine and sodium chloride, sodium and chlorine, followed by two nearly complete periods, potassium, bromium, rubidium and rubidium iodine. In 1871, Mendeleev revised the 17 group table with 8 columns. The 8th group consisted of transition elements. This table exhibited similarities not only in small units such as the triad, but showed similarities in the entire network of the vertical, horizontal and diagonal relationship. The table contained gaps, but Mendeleev predicted the discovery of new elements. In 1906, Mendeleev came within one vote of receiving the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. This law states that the physical and chemical properties of the elements are the periodic function of their atomic masses. This means that when the elements are arranged in the order of their increasing atomic masses, the elements with similar properties recur at regular intervals. Such orderly occurring properties in a cyclic fashion are said to be occurring periodically. So it is occurring, the same property is coming in a cyclic way. So that is called periodicity. So merits of the Mendeleev periodic table. So what is the advantage of this periodic table? So Mendeleev's periodic table was one of the greatest achievements in the development of chemistry. Some of the important contribution of his periodic table are given below. A. The systematic study of elements. So he arranged known elements in order of their increasing atomic masses, considering the fact that the elements with similar properties should fall in the same vertical column. Next, the B, correlation of atomic masses. The Mendeleev periodic table could predict errors in the atomic masses of certain elements were corrected. For example, atomic mass of beryllium was corrected from 13.5 to 9. Similarly, with the help of this table, atomic masses of indium, gold, platinum were corrected. Okay, so these are the usefulness of the Mendeleev periodic table. Number C, he predicted the properties of those missing elements from the known properties of the other elements in this group. Eka boron, eka aluminium and eka silicon names were given for scandium, gallium and germanium, not discovered at the time of Mendeleev. So he predicted that there may be discovery of the new element, and that we know that it becomes the correct position of noble gases. So the noble gases like helium, neon, argon were mentioned in many studies. However, these gases were discovered very late because they are very inert and are present in extremely low concentrations. Okay, although he told about the helium, neon, argon, but as they are noble gases, they are very less interaction with the other gases. That is why they were discovered very late. One of the achievements of Mendeleev periodic table was that when these gases were discovered, they could not be placed in new group without disturbing the existing order. Okay, so it could be placed because already this their position were nominated, their position were predicted. That is why it could be placed in the new group without disturbing the existing order. The limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table. So in spite of many advantages, so nothing is the flawless, there is also some drawbacks. The Mendeleev periodic table has certain defects also. So some of these are given below. So number one, position of hydrogen. So position of hydrogen in the periodic table is uncertain. It has been placed in 1A group with alkali metal, but certain properties of hydrogen resemble those of halogens. So it may be placed in the group for halogen as well. B, the position of isotopes. So isotopes are the atom at the same element having different atomic masses. Therefore, according to Mendeleev's classification, these should be placed at different places depending upon their atomic masses. For example, hydrogen isotopes with atomic masses 1, 2, 3 should be placed at 3 places. However, isotopes have not been given separate places in the periodic table because of their similar properties. Okay. So, number C, anomalous pairs of elements. So, in certain pair of elements, the increasing order of atomic masses was not obeyed. In this, Mendeleev placed elements according to the similarities in their properties and not in increasing order of their atomic masses. So he found the similarities as they cannot be placed as per their atomic masses. So he found the similarities in their properties and placed in the periodic table. So next, the modern periodic table. So Mendeleev's table needed one important modification before it became the modern periodic table. The use of atomic number to order the elements, that is the most important. So this modification was required, that is the atomic number. Mendeleev put the elements in order of their relative atomic mass, and this gave him some problems. For example, iodine has a lower relative atomic mass than tellurium. So it could come before tellurium in the Mendeleev's table. In order to get iodine in the same group as other elements with similar properties such as fluorine, chlorine and bromine, he had to put it after tellurium. So breaking these own rules, using atomic number instead of atomic mass as the organizing principle was first proposed by the British chemist Henry Moseley in 1913. And it solved anomalies like this one. Iodine has a higher atomic number than tellurium. So the problem has been solved when the atomic number is considered to give the place of the atom in the periodic table. The periodic table has undergone extensive changes in the time since it was originally developed by Mendeleev and Moseley. Many new elements has been discovered, while others have been artificially synthesized. Each fits properly into a group of elements with similar properties. The periodic table is an arrangement of the elements in order of their atomic numbers so that elements with similar properties appear in the same vertical column or group. The figure below shows the most commonly used form of the periodic table. Each square shows the chemical symbol of the elements along with its name. Notice that several of symbols seem to be unrelated to the name of the element. So Fe for iron, Pb for lead, etc. Most of these are the elements that have been known since ancient time and have symbols based on their Latin names. The atomic numbers of each element is written above the symbol. So you can see how it looks like. That is our periodic table. Okay. So a period, so here you can see, and all you know basically that hydrogen, lithium, then sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. In this way we are getting the elements. Okay, so a period is a horizontal row of the periodic table. There are 7 periods in the periodic table. Okay, you count, already you know. That is the horizontal line, horizontal in the periodic table. There are 7 periods in the periodic table, which each one beginning at the far left. A new period begins with a new principal energy level, begins filling with electron. So period 1 has only 2 elements, hydrogen and helium. Okay, hydrogen and helium. That is the period 1. While period 2 and 3 have 8 elements. Period 4 and 5 have 18 elements. Period 6 and 7 have 32 elements because the 2 bottom rows are separated from the rest of the table belong to those periods. They are pulled out in order to make the table itself fit more easily onto a single page. Okay, so if you follow the periodic table, you can understand. So in the first row, there is, you are getting the helium, it is the hydrogen and helium. Okay, so only 2. Then what is it? So in the first, there is 2 elements, hydrogen and helium, while in periods 2, 3 have 8 elements. Okay, so let us see that what are the 8 elements. So in the second row, there is 1 that is lithium, 2 that is beryllium, 3 boron, then carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in this way, in the third row there is also 8 elements like sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon. But from 4th, 5th row there is 18 elements. So in this way we get the period that is the horizontal row. Now a group is a vertical column of the periodic table based on the organization of the outer shell electrons. There are a total of 18 groups. There are two different numbering systems that are commonly used to designate groups, and you should be familiar with both. The traditional system used in the United States involved the use of letter A and B. The first two groups are 1A and 2A, while the last 6 groups are 3A through 8A. The middle groups use B in their titles. Unfortunately, there was a slightly different system in place in the Europe. To eliminate confusion, the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, IUPAC, you know that how to write the IUPAC name, decided that the official system for numbering groups would be a simple 1 through 8 from the left to right. So many periodic tables show both systems simultaneously. So now today you have learned that how we got the modern periodic table. So you have learned the history of the periodic table. You know, you have seen the periodic table. You have to remember the periodic table for their property, the similar property in the group. So today you have learned the history of the periodic table, how it comes. Now I have created for you some small MCQ questions. So here you go through for the MCQ questions. Okay, so here I can share the code with you. Then you can give the answer. Okay, as here is only nobody now, no player is here. So just I'm joining here to show you how it works. Okay, so there is the 10 MCQ questions, and I will send the link. So I will share the link through any means like WhatsApp or anywhere. Then you can play the game. This game is very much enjoyable as you can do the answer, then you will get the points. Like you play different games in the mobile, but in this way you will learn the subjects. Okay, so if it is correct, I'm getting the more points, and it is 100% accuracy. I hope that all of you will do correctly. You will get all the correct answer. Okay, all these are correct. I have given 10 questions. It will take just 5 minutes. So if it is accurate, your marks will be increased, and when the many players will be at the same time, then there will be a competition. Like say, the will get the more score, their name will be at the top list, and those who will get the less score, they will be at the below in the given list. But here is only one player, that is why you can see only one name. But basically when you will play, you will enjoy. Okay, so it is almost done. This is the question number 9. Also in this game, you can see that who is the first, who is second, and who is third. So it will show the result. Basically, it is like a quiz competition. So it is the game is very much enjoyable. So now the game is ended, and as there is only player, so there is nothing to do. Okay, so I am the first. Now now it is the ending of my lecture today. So if you have any doubt, any queries, you can communicate with me. I hope you have enjoyed the class. So I am ending the session. Thank you, everyone.